Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
The aftermath of every social revolution brings about change. Cultural norms and landmarks shift as our minds and hearts expand beyond the familiar. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose in the land of the living. This is our time to renew, revive, and restore the hope lost to the busyness of life. This is our time to dig again and rebuild from the storms of our past on a solid footing that holds. Welcome to The Foundation.
The Foundation. Foundation.
The Foundation with Hart Grant is brought to you by Alive, Bahamas Welding and Fire, Burger King, Commonwealth Bank, the Deposit Insurance Corporation, Faith Center Ministries, Grand Bahama News, Marco's Pizza, and Ron's Electric Motors.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. 96.9 FM radio, Howard Grant in your company, The Foundation, on this gorgeous Wednesday afternoon, November 1st. Can you feel Christmas in the air? Is it just me? I'm feeling that this is going to be, I don't know if it's going to be a white Christmas. I don't know if it's going to be a white Christmas, but I'm hoping that it'll be much cooler. Over the past 12 years celebrating Christmas with you guys here in the city of Nassau, it has not been as cold as we'd like it to be out there in the north. In Grand Bahama, it is much colder. So I pray for a little chilly breeze to come through. Talk to me. Just a few. Just snuggle up with your little sweet thing in the can. Talk to me. That's all you want to do. It's a beautiful day, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you pick up your Guardian newspaper. Shanty demolitions to begin on Monday. 2 communities first on the list. I listened to some stuff that they put out from our news, not our news, Eyewitness News. They interviewed 1 or 2 persons out of the shanty town who said that they didn't have anywhere to go. This is bananas. I want to be able to talk about that. The land's going to be wide open today. Also, ministers, FNM had 5 MPs and a GG, but did nothing for Grand Bahama. Sir Franklin Ministers' attack on me is shameful, right? This is Sir Franklin Wilson actually taking that. A nearly 10% increase in loan applications, says Central Bank. This runs concurrent with what we see the numbers reflect for tourism. We talked about that yesterday. How this is a natural inclination. How naturally people who've been bottled up, this pent-up frustration that we actually heard about, that they're naturally moving into, let's get on with life now. And so we're going to actually see a lot of things happen. So over the course of the next 4 to 5 years, we're going to have to make a determination as to whether or not this is sustainable. We can find a true sense of growth in that as we continue to be able to move forward. I want to be able to do that with you guys today. I want to thank you so very kindly for tuning in. Let me just be able to shout out to my people. AFS Insurance, agents and brokers, right down there. November 1st, get your car insured, get your stuff taken care of. Reach down there, reach out to my good friend, Ethric Bow, down there at AFS Insurance, agents and brokers, just east. Number 407 South Blue Hill Road. You can be able to pick him up right there. 341-1AFS. Please reach out to them. They can be able to assist you in all those areas and make some things happen for you. I want to thank Bahamas Bus and Truck for being able to assist us in many ways and continue to be able to support us across our various platforms. We're going to be able to look forward to do, and I can do something. I can say something. I want to shout out to Super Wash. I got to do that. We ain't set up nothing yet. But Diagolo has made commitment. He said, how am I supposed to do this for you? You know, I want to do this for you, man. Put something together. So I want to be able to shout out to him and shout out to persons like him who continue to be able to support small businesses and small, shows and ideas and concepts to be able to continue to be able to move forward. Now, people will tell you 1 or 2 things, but Diagolo, but they always tell you that he is a supportive guy. I want to thank him, man. I want to thank him so much for his support and even his consideration for support. We ain't got nothing finalized yet. but I'm grateful for him to be able to do that. And like I said, guys, I want you guys to reach out to Bahamas Harvest Church. It is, an amazing thing when you could be able to find yourself in this kind of a position where, because some marriages get a little rocky. And if you're thinking about marriage and you think it is all going to be, all good and grits and gravy and the whole thing, you're going to be able to rethink that and understand how you can undergird this with faith, right? I'm indifferent about it. I think I'm going to have a show about this kind of an idea. A lot of persons who don't even believe in the faith want to get holy matrimony. This is peculiar to me. But if you're considering anything to do with whether it's renewing your vows, getting married, if you're going through a rocky patch, I want to be able to say to you, reach out to a sermon, a series that's been done over at Bahamas Harvest with Pastor Mario Moxie, and it's called Let's Stay Together. Absolutely phenomenal. I tell you the truth. I'm not saying this to you because it's a thing. I'm telling you the truth. Go check it out. And you can check out the sermon notes. Step by step. It gives you scripture, it gives you concept, it gives you ideas that you can be able to hold on to. Go and check it out. Bahamas Harvest Church. They're open, their times of service and worship, 8 a.m., 10 a.m., 12 on Sundays. You can be able to get into that. Find out more about their small groups, find out about their participation, find out about their expansion. They're going to be moving in a few years. This is exciting stuff. Guys, please be a part of that. Check them out, Bahamas Harvest Church. We can be able to do that and find out more information. Guys, I'm excited to talk about this today. The line's going to be wide open. Let me put the numbers out there. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Anywhere for the family violence, 242-300-5720, or hit me up, 422-4796. In the studio with me today is none other than Garth Rosebar. Garth, listen to me. We got a lot to talk about today. In this short time, I don't know how we can do the whole thing, right? I don't know how we can do it, but we have a lot to talk about. I did not necessarily expect, right? I did not necessarily expect to be able to, I expected yesterday to be able to have another political conversation. I reached out and I called his name already because he made commitment. Obi Roberts, but things happen. I'm not going to fight Obi. And also Robin Lyons indicated that she would actually sit with me, but she's sitting on top of the hill and doing her thing, right? I see her on television doing her thing, so she's being able to do a great deal of things. I'm open and available whenever they want to come, but it leads me to speculation. God, talk to me. It leads me to speculation. There's been pronouncements and sort of an opening up of what we can expect come, I think, November 9th and 10th for the PLP and their convention. And that's leading me to some speculation. Say good afternoon to the listening audience out there.
Well, it is a beautiful day here in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. As you rightly said, much is going on. You and I have discussed and still discussing what is happening in our beloved country. But as for you, the people of the Bahamas today, Howard Grant is going to once again repeat those phone numbers so that you can call in. This is a talk show, and I'm almost certain that Howard enjoys the challenge of a decent conversation. And so I've had the privilege of listening in as you are also listening in. And of course, you want to make commentary. Sometimes the lines are blocked. And so I'm going to let...
Don't say block. It sounds intentional.
Well, it's
busy.
Busy is a better word.
Okay,
busy is a better word. Yeah. Some people, though, you do really honestly wish you could block. You wish you could.
I don't block.
Be honest. Be decent. No, the same way you wanted to block the girl on the plane.
No, I didn't want to block her.
You didn't want to block. You want to have to continue.
Block her bowels.
But that's what I'm talking about.
she licked me up, but it was 14 hours on the other side of this girl. My goodness. You can hold it in?
Well, Howard Grant, you look like that nice, kind gentleman. We've been human people, we believe in giving courtesies. But today is a great day for a conversation, Howard Grant, so I'm going to let you do what you do best, to lead the conversation, to get the listeners involved in this conversation, because the more we hear from you, is the more certain we know what we're talking about. Is that correct?
Well, I like what you say, but I'm an observer like many of us are. not necessarily a participant. I ain't got no skin in the game. I'm a Bahamian citizen, and I refuse to be an ostrich or ostracized. I just want to be able to be very clear that I ain't push my head in the sand. If I could see, you see what I did there.
But do you believe Bahamians actually do that, or we like conk? We just go back in our shell?
I don't know. I think Bahamian people have turned their eye. I think corruption in our country and perceived corruption has placed people in the position where they say, child, it is what it is, and turn a blind eye to it. And they say, well, that's what it is. What
corruption is only corruption when it's not a benefit to you. Other than that, it's an opportunity.
So it is corruption then? Because it's not
for those who do not have.
It's not benefiting the mass,
for those
the populace.
Who do not have.
And that's the majority of people.
But if you offer them a chicken bone, there's no more corruption.
That's bananas, sir.
But that is the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Welcome to our shores.
Chicken bone.
And I wish everyone listening today would have a great opportunity afforded to them. That's why we call it a Commonwealth.
My God. Lines are wide open, guys. If you want to be a part of the conversation, I see the thing already lit up. Let's take the telephone call. Caller on the line with us live. Go ahead.
Morning, Howard.
Hey, what's up, Sparky?
And your guest at coffee.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, I ain't seen another lady in a long time, Sparky. You ain't come visit me.
Howard, I've been going through a rough time. I had a very bad fall.
Wow.
I'm walking with a walker now.
Oh my God!
I my slippers tripped coming up my back step on the patio, and 220 pounds went to the ground in a hurry.
Have mercy.
Wow.
Hit my knee, messed up my ankle, my hip bruised the rib, and then my face actually hit the cement.
Well, I got plenty of bush medicine in Adelaide. You want some of
I got
that?
bush medicine all around my yard, but the thing is that this corruption and so forth.
Yes, sir.
From the Garden of Eden, man, from time immemorial, man has been trying to find the right way to God. We don't know who God is. We don't know what God is. We know, but they told us what God is. When most of us was young, they actually painted God for us. If you go in the 16th chapel of the Vatican, you'll see what God looked like according to the Pope. A white man sitting on a gold throne with a gold crown, with a white dress, and a white sash, and a white and a gold belt, and golden slippers, and a bunch of white angels with brown hair and blue eyes, with white wings and white dresses. That's what they told us as children, and their pictures still stand in the Vatican today. Everything white, everything black, as we know, was always bad luck. Black cat, Black Friday, anything black is bad, anything white is good. White is pure, black is doggone dead. Even when you go to the funeral, you better put on your black. Don't put on no white or no pink or no green. And that's how they brainwashed us.
Sparky, only with a black American Express card, that is as white as it gets.
Our leaders, who we trust, and some of the same leaders that went to school and played up and down the school ground and shoot marbles and fly kites with us, are our leaders today, whether they're in the church, or our House Assembly, or our social leaders, our parliament, our permanent secretaries, and what you come to corruption. Those same people look forward to their friends, families, and lovers, and leave their cousins and their friends behind. Because everybody want to live in Old Fort Bay, Life at Key, Vinton, San Souci, Sakidi, and da. Nobody want to live down in the shanty town or over the hill from a color corner and things. Even those who grew up from a color corner don't even drive through there no more. They even know the neighbor, Miss Mali, who helped grow them up when their mother was awake. They don't remember Miss Mali no more, you know? And these the same people, like I tell you, when I used to work in Telco, in credit collection, Miss Mali, we used to turn Miss Mali a phone off for $200 and $300, while Mr. Politician and the big shot owe thousands of dollars, but they instructed us to leave their own on.
Well, let's talk about politics today. What are your assessments? I know you're very close to the PLP. What is being said or what's happening in Grand Bahama?
Well, I don't know, because it seems to me that the people in New Providence are more in tune with what's going on in Grand Bahama than the people who live up there. Who can vote? People in Nassau can't vote. The people in New Providence cannot vote less than
Yeah, but they're excited to talk politics.
It's just like politics.
They love it.
They love yellow shake and red shake and white shake and green shake. And the people who really love the politics are the ones who are dead quiet. And that's what we call the 19th executive family, son. Yeah. You don't even hear them calling no talk show. You could tell a white person when they call it also just by the difference in speech from the average layman. You could tell when Graham called, Graham is a white boy. You know him, just
So,
like his
Sparky,
voice.
who are you going with for the win? Let's hear this.
I join with whoever the people decide. Whoever they decide, I gotta live it. I'm born in Chippenham, I grew up in the valley. I go with the people. They say the people is the voice of God.
Now, Sparky, do you believe that this leadership race, this by-election, would actually show who will win the general election in 2026?
I don't know. My blood don't run into politics that deep. I've been listening to Shane's opinion, Fred's opinion. I think it should be an open floor. I think the people should vote for chairman and this and that rather than select group of people. And let this be transparent and let people see the truth. Man, we've reached the
Are you a voting?
now.
Are you a voting delegate?
Right now, basically, most of us just trying to survive now.
Are you a voting?
Before I go, let me say this little thing. In 2006, I was what you call middle class. Middle class was something 3 million. I decided my son wanted to go. Somebody wanted to carry my son at 10 years old to Chicago. I saw the chance for him to get an education in America. Mm-hmm. I let him go at 10 years old after Clarence Primary School. I let him go. I decided to sell the big house at Seabreeze and get me a small government house because only me one single father. And I'll have a room when he come back from school, or when he come back, he'll have a room, and I'll have a room. I turned 2 rooms in the big master bedroom, and one for him when he came home. At time, I was working to Metelco. Eventually, I lost the job. Eventually, the mortgage corporation started calling me because things had changed. I didn't have that income no more, so we fixed the mortgage so I could afford with my pension. That'll go straight to the mortgage corporation. I don't even see that. Leslie Miller got me a job down in Bowling Alley when he constructed that. I became a manager till things went bad at the Bowling Alley. I was out of work, but by that time I was getting national insurance. So I live off my national insurance, and the mortgage corporation is being paid to this day. That's 2006. The other day, I went to check my mortgage. I know it was down to 14,000. When I checked it, they said it's 19. I said, how did it go back to 19? The man said, well, you know, you're of age now. You have no more life insurance. So we had to mortgage the house. We had to fix the house so they could cover the house for the mortgage corporation. So my mortgage went back from 14,000 to 19,000 now.
Wow.
So, Sparky, you spent...
Listen, Howard. I'm 72 years old. My mortgage gone up an extra 5,000, and my salary remaining the same. Now corned beef and white rice look like doggone steak and potatoes over PI to me because I can hardly find, every time I go to the food store now, white rice gone up, corned beef gone up, this gone up, but my salary remained the same.
Wow.
That's powerful.
Well, Sparky, I appreciate your telephone call. Thank you so kindly for your contribution. That's one of the fears I have in this country.
You do.
I have a fear of that. I have a fear of relentlessly committing yourself to service on whatever avenue, right? And at the end of the day, you're not compensated in your old time. I have a problem with that. I'm afraid of that. I watched my grandmother. She did very well. She was a part of 2 unions, right? When she was coming up in Betelco. So when she get pension, she got 2 pensions. So she was doing well in the late 90s, the early 2000s. But that money dwindled into absolute nothing. Mm-hmm. And as she get older, the only thing that she was concerned about is having enough money to bury herself. I thought that was crazy. Mm-hmm. She'll lend you everything up to it. Anything you ask her for, if she got it, she'd give it to you up to, no, I need this money to bury myself because I don't want nobody rowing over me when I die. And that's the kind of concept that exists in this country. Are we only living to have enough money to bury ourselves? There's a movie I watched one time. I think it was with Morgan Freeman. And he had his earrings in, right? And the only reason the pirates wore earrings that if they die somewhere in another space, in another country, an island, whatever the case may be, the earrings was enough money to bury them. Is that the only thing that we're concerned about? That we don't have the wisdom in this faith that we carry that says a wise man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. And we leave absolutely nothing for our children except turmoil and more argument about what is what. People are literally rowing and fighting over absolute nothing.
I want you to believe that.
Listen to me. Listen
I
to me.
want you to believe that.
Absolutely nothing. This is nothing on the scale of what life means. This thing here is absolutely nothing. But that's all, that's the value and the lump sum that their forefathers have left for them. I think it's crazy. And I think the government of the Bahamas, and see, it's hard to always kind of put it back to the government of the Bahamas. Yesterday I started to have this kind of a conversation about the government of the Bahamas not being able to have the wherewithal, the fortitude, the strength, the conviction, that kind of a fearless approach in politics to make the decision that's not necessarily the normal decision, but a decision that can actually lead to a new dimension, a new era, a new dispensation of politics in this country. I believe that they are afraid.
I always say, forget who we really are. How many people can be concerned because they think? What are they thinking about? What is their future that they have thought through? Just measured it, made the estimation that at the age of 70, this is where I want to be. Where we are now, Howard, is survival to the next hour. You and I was just driving together, and what did we witness on Farrington Road on our way to the station?
With the fella laying in the road?
Fella just lay out in the road.
In the middle of the road.
Okay. Now, we look at him and say, well, my God, he got to be losing his mind. Like you would say, absolutely bananas. But you know how many people are left on that bunch? A whole lot of people on that bunch of bananas. This country isn't heading anywhere, not because the politicians will not allow it to, but we as citizens, we encourage them not to.
Wow.
Right now, as we speak, there's a by-election going on in Grand Bahama, West Grand Bahama and Bimini. As Sparky said, the people in Nassau are so concerned about what's happening over there more than the people in that constituency. But guess what else is going on, Howard? We just reconvened Parliament the other day, did we not?
Yeah.
Is the business of the people of the Bahamas now continuing?
Mm-hmm.
What is the business in the House today? We don't know. We don't even care. They can talk about carbon credits. They can talk about immigration. They can talk about shanty towns and housing. Yeah, we hear that, but we now want to know who can win in West Grand Bahama and Bimini. So while they're making their deals and doing business as usual, the average Bahamian isn't even aware of what's being discussed. So at the end of the day, we get the surprise of our life that, you know what? Oh, VAT's going to increase to 15%. Well, when did that happen? How did that happen? That's Bahamian politics. And they don't have to care when they do it because why? We're just not that savvy.
Is it savvy or concern? You see, the approach that Bahamians take, the approach that we collectively take as it relates to, and I often do this, all right, as it relates to politics, observation, and participation is sportsmanlike. It is a sport. It is, whether you call it a blood sport, whether you call it vicious, whether you call it, participatory, however you want to be able to identify it, it is identified in the stead of a game. It's a game. You understand? And even with pronouncements from learned men, statesmen, they would actually speak to the fact that this is a game. This has been ingrained in our psyche.
Right.
This is a game. This is ingrained in our psyche. And I've identified this over the years that, I watched basketball, football, baseball as a child. But as I grew, I distanced myself from these things and I participated wholeheartedly in looking at and observing politics locally and internationally. Right?
Which is a game.
Right? And I've looked at this and I just love the thing, right? I'm going to be honest with you. But the truth is if we look at it, if we continue to look at politics as a game, the participation is not necessarily for the outcome. The participation and looking at it has nothing to do with the strategy on the field. No one cares what the FNM or the PLP can do. They only care if the FNM or the PLP will win. Who will win?
Why?
If my party can win.
Why?
That's the question I have.
Give me the depth of why.
Why?
Why would you want your PLP to win? Why would you want your FNM to win? What is in it for you? Let me hear this. I know you want to know.
No one can tell you that.
What you mean they can't tell me that? And they're so adamant that...
No.
Listen to me. My good cousin, I want to give a shout out to my good cousin. I ain't calling your name today. You know what my cousin told me? If God come down on the sky and tell her not to vote for the PLP, she voted PLP.
She ain't listening to God.
She ain't even listening to God. Now, that's what I call a religion. Mm-hmm. The PLP is her religion. I was at an establishment last night, and I like to go by the bars. You know why I go by bars? Because people at the bar tell the truth. The gentleman said, man, I grew up in South Andrews, in Mars Bay. All my clothes was gold. I never see a red piece of material till I came to Nassau, and the first red material I saw, I got mad. He said, everything in me is gold. The boy only less than 40 years of age, and he can swear to you he is gold. So I asked him the question, Howard, what is it that gold has done for you? He says, as long as I know gold, I never been hungry a day in my life.
He never been hungry a day in his life because he lived in South Andrews. Ain't nobody can let him go hungry.
But I want you to listen.
You don't know that.
I want you to listen to the conversation.
I want to say this. People might not like this, and I always have to kind of give this preamble when I'm going to do this. But I need to do this. As a young man, we don't have a coming of age, an opportunity. We don't have this religious concept or this ingrained concept in our culture where we become a part of stepping into, like, there's no Kwanzaa for us. There's no quinceañera for us. There's no sweet 16 and all these things like that. We just, one day we could drink. We're 18 years old, we could drink. But if we can be honest, we was drinking when we were 16, 15, 14. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, so there's no definite or defining moment in our Bahamian society that says we're stepping over to this. And so for a lot of us, whether it be for religion or we have been looking for our identity, right? Some of us found our identity in construction because my father was in construction, or in mechanics. My father was a mechanic, or, you know, I'm good with my hands. So we find our identity and we mature and matriculate into whatever this thing is before us. For me, that was the hotel for a long time. I thought this is why I was so broken for the hotel, because my identity was wrapped in the hotel. I didn't know maturity. I didn't know there wasn't value in me until I had this opportunity to be in the hotel. I saw, oh my God, I didn't know I could do this. Wow, I could know. And so every step I took in the organization, I found strength in me because I didn't know I had these hidden talents. So everything I unearthed and that came forward, it was as a result of the hotel. Separation from that, I thought I was losing my identity. I thought I didn't have identity or purpose anymore. Lord, oh God, what's going to happen to me? Woe is me when I separated from this organization. Only to understand, after separation, only to understand that the strength and the power and the wherewithal that existed in me has always been there. And that could be applied to anything.
You know something, Howard?
A lot of people do not recognize their powers and ability outside of their political organization.
They're not encouraged to.
They only know their political organization.
We've been in school, we've always been a class. There's no individuality in the classroom. Do you know one of my most painful moments in the history of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, in my lifetime? When I saw Jombe Village disappear, when I saw the whole idea of a Gombe festival in the summertime with grass skirts and dancing disappear, and then when I saw Junkanoo Carnival appear. I have never been a part of any Junkanoo group, but as a child, I remember, yes, I say Saxon, Valley Boys, Saxon. And when you saw the scrap gang come out, we all went bananas. We went crazy. We love our scrap gang. And then you said Junkanoo Carnival, and I was like, you know what? What the hell are you doing to my Junkanoo? You are degrading my Junkanoo. When I grew up, the young people don't know about this. They had a soda called Gombe Smash. You know anything about that, Howard?
I know Gombe Smash.
But that soda tastes good, hey? And these are the things that just we find reason to get rid of, to discard. Anything that sounds just Bahamian is disappearing. Where are we taking our country? Where is the thought processing? PLP, F&M, okay, good, I give you your party. That's who you are. But I'm asking you the question today when you call Howard to please tell us why. Just give us the rationale as to why you are a PLP for life, you are FNM for life. It doesn't matter if it's Kingsley Smith, it doesn't matter if it's Bishop Ricardo Grant. You are what you are because of the color that they wear. Make it make sense today. Somebody, for God's sake, I didn't even want to say for God's sake, but I have to cry out to our Heavenly Father.
This is why the Bahamian people can't connect with independence. Because there's no identity in independence. There is no recognition, there's no foundation, there's no anchor that exists in the independent space. And the only thing that can actually sway persons to move away from their political organization, which was their identity, is money.
Money.
Is money. The only thing that people will actually gravitate towards, if it ain't red, if it ain't yellow, it got to be green box. It got to be cash.
Yes.
And that's the only thing the person actually gravitate towards. That because that is the almighty dollar. And everything else, that supersedes everything. That answereth all. You understand? Mm-hmm. And so persons will actually gravitate towards that. But if it ain't no money involved, it has to be some form of an anchor politically that we can be able to identify with that cause us to move toward. I can take this call and then I can go to break. Call on the line with us live. Go ahead.
To both Mr. Howard and your guest.
Good afternoon, my brother. How you doing?
I'm good. It's been a while calling your show.
Okay.
I want to agree with Sparky today. My good friend, Mr. Fountain, and also your guest. I am very much concerned also. It appears that we do get excited over politics rather than God. And the gentleman just said some people are making it their religion. And that's a very concern for me, rather than dealing with the issues and the poorly socialized society we now ingraining or raising. Mm-hmm. It's a much concern. Howard, can I ask you a question, please?
Go ahead.
I overheard you from Grand Bahama.
Yes, sir. Edinburgh.
You grew up in Grand Bahama?
100%.
That's good. You just migrated to Nassau recently?
12 years ago.
12 years ago?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You like it here or you like it in Grand Bahama? Anyway.
You know what? No. I answer this question. I love it here.
Okay.
I love Grand Bahama. Mm-hmm. And guess what I recognize? Mm-hmm. Especially after my travels. I lived in Cuba, and I just come from Hong Kong.
And you've been in Hong Kong.
Watch me. I realize one thing.
I hear you get grounded over there.
I get grounded, but watch me.
You made your way back home faster, eh?
Praise God, right? But watch me. Uh-huh. I realize one thing. Wherever I touch the ground in this country, I home. Yes. This is my home. This is my country.
Okay, well said. Now, let me say this. So you know both candidates?
I know both of them. But in fact, both of them are my family.
Okay. Since you said your family. Now, you often talk about this family, and I love you for your family values. You often talk about your children and your beautiful wife and how well you cook or someone cook or etc. Mm-hmm. Now, listen. The first time in history I've seen it, I've been voting from 1972. Mm-hmm. And I thought it was a very good thing. The first time in history I've seen no other persons did it. The acceptance speech was given by Mr. Smith. There's a beautiful lady came on the podium and assisted him by wiping his face. The question now is that his beautiful wife, and do he believe in traditional family values? That's the question I would like for you to seek and help me to answer.
I don't know if Kimsey's married. I don't know if Kimsey's married.
Well, the beautiful lady assists him by wiping his face. I just want to know if he, in case if he win the seat and he become a minister or hold a position in the party, I would just like to know if he is a good example, if that beautiful lady was his wife. That's all we need to know.
Can I please?
I know who's the prime minister's wife. I know who's the prime minister's wife.
You going to break, Howard?
I gotta go to break.
Boy, I can get a piece of this.
No, I can get.
You don't think we have a right to know?
Yeah, but I want to get a piece of that.
Yeah. Well, let me.
We just want to know.
Boy, this like chicken in the bag, boy. I want a piece of this.
Well, Well, let me see. The
Now,
grease,
Howard.
the grease
Don't,
slipping on the
Howard.
bag. I don't know.
Don't bambush me now.
I ain't gonna bambush you or bamboozle you.
excited.
I just want to know
I am
if that's
excited.
that beautiful lady is his wife.
I don't know who she is.
No, don't get into that. Don't get into that.
Together?
Go to your break.
No. So, but the things have changed. I tell you, I see the people for years. I haven't been home.
Said, man, come on, Howard.
I can find out for you,
Find out
Don't go there.
find out if that's his
Don't go
wife.
there.
Let me go text. I can text somebody. Let me take a quick commercial
go
break. I appreciate the telephone call. I can take a commercial break. Ladies and gentlemen, 96.9 FM radio. I see your motor.
Man, I sit up. I won't take my jacket off.
Calm down.
Let me take off my shoes.
Relax. We can take this quick commercial break, ladies and gentlemen, and be right back after this.
The foundation.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
You've tried everything. ASUS with your mother's cousin's sister's auntie, and even hiding your money under your mattress. But is your money safe? Your Bahamian dollar deposit in a member bank or credit union is insured up to $50,000. If anything happens, your deposit up to the insured value will be returned to you thanks to Deposit Insurance. Visit Deposit Insurance Corporation at www.dic.bf.
Protection for your money guaranteed with DIC.
Jumpstart this holiday season with BWF. We have just what you need for renovating, remodeling, decorating, baking, or just a minor home improvement. Shop BWF for fantastic fall savings, up to 20% off. Going on now through Saturday, November 4th. On appliances, combo specials, ductless AC units, barbecue grills, kitchen and outdoor cooking supplies, generators, compressors, and power tools, automotive supplies and accessories, lawn and garden supplies, junk canoe and craft supplies, household items, and much more. So, catch this 20% off sale to get an early start on your Christmas decor and enjoy a Bahamian Christmas experience at BWF. Bahamas Welding and Fire, we are more than just our name. Located number 13 Wilton Street, open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Visit us on Facebook and we ship to the Family Island. Call us at 394-0004 or 6.
It's Whopper Wednesday every Wednesday at Burger King Nassau. Make your Wednesday sizzle and sink your teeth into a flame-grilled beef patty topped with tomatoes, fresh-cut lettuce, mayo, pickles, ketchup, and sliced onions, all on a toasted sesame seed bun with fries for only $5.95, including that. This Whopper Wednesday, grab a friend and head down to your favorite BK Nassau location for a flame-grilled Whopper made your way with crisp fries for only $5.95. Burger King Nassau, where taste is king.
Guardian Radio and the Foundation are on the move.
Bahamas, this one's for you.
SBT, Small Business Thursdays. Every Thursday, the Foundation with Howard Grant will highlight small businesses throughout the country, far and wide. Your products, services, prices, and personality. We want to hear it all. Get your 30 or 60-second advertisement heard on air at a fraction of the cost. We here at the Foundation understand the times and don't want you to be left behind. With Guardian Radio, you reach your specific demographic, and it is unmatched.
We reach thousands daily.
Get your products off the shelf and your services in their hearts. Small Business Thursdays with the Foundation, only on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. For more information, call 302-2300 or the Help Me Howard line at 827-0111. SBT. Small Business Thursdays. Get your business moving today.
Join Bishop Henry Fernandez, Shirley Caesar, and Jonathan Nelson for the Becoming My Best Self Conference on November 2nd to the 4th at the Baha Mar Hotel. You do not want to miss these 3 days of anointed music, worship, and the Word. Get your tickets now. For one price, you can worship with Shirley Caesar and Jonathan Nelson and participate in every session for the entire weekend. Register now at henryfernandez.org or purchase your tickets at Suntime Marathon Mall, the Galleria entrance. Contact 242-601-2012 for more info. Seats are limited. It's time to level up at the Becoming Your Best Self conference. Meet us there.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation. The foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant and your company, The Foundation, on this beautiful Wednesday here. We have a panel discussion. The lines are wide open. We want your participation. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Anywhere from the family violence, 242-300-5720. Hit me up, 422-4796. I'm sitting here with none other than Garth Roseborough, being able to bring these things and just kind of get up to date with these things. The last caller threw me a lob.
Yeah.
I felt like it was a lob.
Bahamian softball.
But aren't we playing baseball, this fast pitch? Baby, what you throwing me the lob for? I feel like you're trying to pull me into something. You need to stop it. I don't know people's business. Not like that.
He did ask you if you from Grand Bahama.
I from there. This is my family,
So
and I don't know.
Maybe you figure you always play baseball. You always play bat and ball.
No. We used to play baseball.
You always play baseball over there.
And we play softball.
What type of bat y'all got? Y'all got flat stick like what we used to have, or y'all got real bat?
We got the real bat.
Oh, yeah?
We got everything.
Yeah?
It's the second city.
All right, sir. All right.
And what Bishop Grant said, second city, what is that?
Yeah,
What is the second city? It was too much. You understand?
Well, Howard, I appreciated that call, to be frank with you, and he seems to be a very astute gentleman. But let me say this to the main people. I don't, for the life of me, understand why they're so concerned with the people who got wife and family. And let me tell you why I say that. How many politicians allegedly, like this word allegedly, get into politics and end up with 5 sweethearts? They slipping around the corner. You know this. The monies were allocated for the constituency. No.
I need you to set this up for me.
Allegedly, but I'm just saying to you
I need to get this understand. You say, how many of them get into politics and end up?
Yes, sir.
You see, because I get
some of them have practiced before, but guess what? You have now.
I step into this with every one of your words. End up.
Yes.
How do you end up with sweethearts?
Because it's all about, you said it, the money. You got this money. Listen. Let me confess myself.
Perception.
Let me confess myself.
The first thing Bishop Ricardo Grant said, and what Shivago Lang said yesterday, Shivago said when he gave himself for politics the day before yesterday, he said the first time he gave himself for politics, he had $0. None. He said, but he was going to tell nobody that.
Okay.
First thing Ricardo Grant did, he said his pockets are shallow.
Okay.
Shallow.
Okay.
So it's only the perception that they're running after, not the actual money. Money's a great deal. These politicians ain't got no money, sir.
If he wins, he ain't no longer ref. He's now the politician. He's daddy. Big daddy. Listen to me. When I was 24 years of age, I left the United States, got my first master's degree. I am not a vain person. I don't get into clothing and who I think I am. I came home on a Thursday. I got a job on a Friday. My earning was almost about $3,000, including benefits, at the age of 24. I got a Honda Accord with Optima rims and music.
My God.
This me a preacher now. This is what I got.
He's a Nassau man.
And they'll tell you it's true.
You love this.
I got me my little, what you call them dog again? The Chow dog.
Chow Chow.
We had the Chow Chow
Purple
dog.
tongue.
Looked like a little lion, Muffy. I got a dog. And then they told me I'm going to be the district pastor in, I can get island. South Andros. Now I go into the family island, single brother going to the family island, wearing $800 suits, $95 ties from Tommy Hilfiger. I ain't asking you, Stacey Adams shoes, burgundy. Man of God, my butt. I had to wear a robe to stop the woman from telling me how I look sitting down behind her pulpit. I asking you this. So when you are a politician, what I'm simply saying to you, Bahamas, is that you have an automatic target on your head. Now, let me break it down to you biblically. King David sitting on the rooftop, man of God who killed the lion, killed the bear, killed Goliath. The chosen of God, the apple of his eye, saw Bathsheba sitting down there on the rooftop.
No, a pastor.
I can tell you how to
This was because of David's vanity.
No.
His carnality. This wasn't because of his office.
Listen. Listen, he sent for that woman because she was fine.
Because of his vanity and
It
not
don't
because
matter.
of his office.
It don't, I gotta ask you one question.
Not because of his
Did
office.
the woman say no? That's all I want to ask you. The woman husband dead. Dead.
He wasn't dead yet.
David killed the man. And the woman still married him. And still had another child for him after that one died by the name of Solomon. Don't tell me this Bible thing. I know this Bible thing. The woman never said no. She married a man who killed her own husband. Now, I can ask you a question. When you talk about politics, you yourself said money runs things. Now, the politician got the money. And he got an excuse. He ain't got to come home tonight. Man, baby, I got to go to CARICOM.
Sir.
Baby, I got to go to...
You can't say these things on the radio.
No, I got to say this because see...
And then encourage me to get into politics.
No, he asking...
You want my wife to kill me, then. That's what you're saying to me.
No, not up any woman love you.
You need to stop
I
it.
am saying this to this man. What the heck a wife and children got to do with politics in the Bahamas? From the time we know from the 60s until now, our people been having sweetheart in politics, man. We know the stories. Whether you feel they're true or not, there are too many stories to say all the stories are lies. Now, sweethearting is a serious thing in the Bahamas. Serious thing. As a matter of fact, it's a cultural thing. And let me make it very decent for you. The British system itself does accompany the idea of having a mistress. And so you and all your religion and your Catholicism and your Protestantism and your Rastafarianism, guess what? Plenty sweetheart out there. You know, a little bit. So don't talk to me with have no wife and no children. That don't stop no show.
But what this got to do with what we're talking about?
What it has to do is the man asks, does he have a wife? He don't need no wife. What he need to do is do his job. He got a job to do. Your wife ain't got nothing to do with your job. This whole idea that we have in the Bahamas that I need to know if he's a balanced man. How much of them got? Come on, man. Let me let that go.
But that's already ingrained into the psyche of who we are as a people.
The people have got wife.
When Daryl Miller, and it's peculiar that Daryl Miller would say that, right? But when Daryl Miller say, well, I need to see a picture.
Yeah.
Are you?
And your wife.
Your wife.
And your family.
And your children.
Now, what I got to do with the job? With human resources. Let me hear what I got to do with the job.
The concept and idea that was conveyed to me right off the bat, was that this had to do with balance.
Balance?
With your ability.
How much married men or women you know balance?
Your ability.
You may be balanced.
To take care of your family, which is your first job and obligation, and compare that to how you'll be able to take care of the country. There needs to be some example of your leadership skill set, and ability before you step into this office. And whether or not that is from a business perspective, a great deal of people who find themselves stepping into politics are short of their position and being able to find themselves victorious. They always have a backdrop of their professionalism. The reason why when you stand on the podium and they have to give this sort of a slate, this layout of everything that you've accomplished over the time, they say, hell, he's gone off to school, he's done this, he's done that, he's done all these particular things. That's to show your ability and balance to be able to execute in certain areas. And how this would translate if you step into politics.
Howard.
And the family is a part of that.
Howard, fundamentally, philosophically, educationally, and wisely, no man I know in this world can control another. You show me the man who could control that woman, because a woman is a very powerful being. A woman, to me, is more powerful than a man could be, because a man is visionary, but the woman is the engine behind the success of a vision.
The incubator.
That's who she is. Yeah. And so I want you to understand what I'm saying to you today.
I don't think a lot of women know that.
I don't care what you feel you are as a man. If that woman doesn't want to be on your side, you go in politics tomorrow, she could destroy you the same day. The woman could do that. So marriage ain't got nothing to do with it, because what we need now,
showed us that.
What we need now in this country, we need financial uplift. Yes? Mm-hmm. We need some type of a social uplift, because we got a whole lot of social situations going wrong. Mm-hmm. Yes? Mm-hmm. Okay, then. We got a whole lot of legal and judicial and everything else going wrong with this country. Mm-hmm. We got a type of scandal going on in this country. These are the type of people we need to say, listen, look at my resume. I have the ability to help lift this nation. And the people who can do this, a lot of them ain't married. Plenty of them ain't married.
Yeah, but they can do it because they've already had a resume. They could show
Yes.
you. They could show you. I've done this. That.
Yes.
I've done this already.
Yes.
They could show you this.
Yes.
They could show you that I've already been in these areas. I've already done business. I have a multi-million-dollar company. I have these particular
Yes.
things. These are the relationships
Yes.
I have. I don't have a wife.
Yes.
And then you say things like, well, we can pray God you get a wife one day, but come, let's go. And that's what you did. That's what it is.
You pray you get a wife?
Yeah. No. Because that's just the tradition and the nature of the Bahamians. Bahamians want you to have the perception of
we like to tell
wholeness.
lies. We like lies.
Well, if you want to call it lies, it's lies.
It's lies.
But they want you to have the perception of wholeness, the perception and the image of Christianity. They want you to look the part. Yeah, they know that you may have some things. They want you to keep it in the dark. Keep that in the closet, but we want you to look the part when you go to the forefront.
That in
Political
and of
organizations
itself,
want you to do this
that
exact
in
same
and
thing.
of itself is pure corruption. Just a
Well,
sort
then
of
why homosexuals don't come to the forefront?
You
in
got
politics then?
homosexual running parties in this country, and ain't nobody complaining.
You are wilding out today, sir.
Hallelujah.
You are wilding
Stop
all
putting your
the way
head
out.
in the sand. You all know what time it is, man. Stop being liars and thieves and crooks and buccaneers and pirates, man. Maybe, I don't know. I see why Bahamians drink so much. Y'all just drink Kalik and what they drink? Kalik and Guinness and Sands and all them other type of beer. I see why people drinking 8 o'clock in the morning.
This is a hog head conversation, sir. You getting deep. You getting too deep. I got to take this commercial break. Ladies and gentlemen, let me take this commercial break, get to news, and be right back after this.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation. The foundation. Foundation. The foundation. The foundation.
This is Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
The Grand Bahama News is available every Tuesday in the Nassau Guardian. Buy your local paper at Freeport convenience stores, Western Bakery, DeGregory's Fine Foods, and Bellevue Gifts. Want to reach your Grand Bahama customers? Then call Barefoot Marketing at 827-4578 or message them for ad rates via their Facebook page. Advertising opportunities now include classified ads too. Keep up with all the latest Grand Bahama news in the Nassau Guardian newspaper every Tuesday.
Too many debt bills? Overdue on loan payments? Improve your credit score and credit report with the Bahamas Credit Bureau. Shrink your debt payments with a debt consolidation loan and built-in savings that pays you 5% interest. Call 356-7764.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation. The foundation. Foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant and your company, The Foundation, right here live in full effect. The lines are wide open, sitting with none other than Garth Roseborough, being able to do these things and have a good conversation. I try to be as decent as possible on these conversations. I try to be so decent. Oh, my God. Listen to me. It's almost like people saying, I don't believe in the devil, or I don't believe in ghosts, or I don't believe in these things. These things exist. Sweethearting exists.
Yes.
But I don't subscribe. I don't apply. And I don't. Okay, so I'm very peculiar. I am a peculiar guy. I don't believe in anything casual. I want to be very formal. Do you know that my wife is one of my very first girlfriends? Like I like girls. Like I always like girls, right? And I had some girls who some girls, they still in love with me, talk to me. I just want to be very clear about it, right? But the truth of the matter is that I never saw myself in a casual something. I've always had this kind of a desire to ascend, to move up. Any organization I go in, I always have a desire to be able to move up. When I went into the hospitality industry, I saw myself moving up to the executive, and I worked towards that. I've always sought to move up wherever I am. Mm-hmm. And that's why I believe in evolution. I believe in growth and development. I believe in these particular things. And I don't believe that you should start in this kind of a stagnant position to say that, okay, we're going to be content with this, because I don't believe that's true. I don't believe that there's life. I don't believe there's life. I believe that, okay, this is it. This is it. Oh, look, oh God, where did this come from today? Jesus, God Almighty, where did this come from today? But anyway, I just have to be honest with you.
Just go ahead.
When I saw my wife and I fell in love with her,
Dude, you cry.
I fall in love with her after I saw her ability to be a good mother. I said that. Because as a young man, I wasn't looking for no girlfriend. I was in Cuba. Talk to me, sir. And I just want to be very clear with what that means. Do you understand what that means?
Hola.
No, sir. I was in Cuba.
Muy bien.
Ay, Dios mío, mira.
Bueno.
I was in Cuba.
Sí, señor.
I wasn't looking for no woman.
Sí, señor.
I was trying to just be very clear, right? But when I saw her, I said, this woman would be an excellent mother for my children. She had values and quality, character and substance.
And a little
that
Cuban blood, too.
surpassed
A little Cuban blood.
the percentage in her.
Yeah.
But that surpassed everything, that made me look above to a position that I saw myself 40, 50 years down the line with her.
Now, Howard,
I can be honest with you.
Howard, I see where you're going with this, but let me make this very
And as a result of seeing, let me finish this. As a result of being able to see that with her and falling so deeply in love with her, I wanted to be able to replicate that. Watch me. That's why I don't believe in sweethearting, because I'm unable to replicate what I see. I'm unable to produce. And if you do, you got to hide it. I shouldn't be able to hide my children. So if I get involved with something, I should be able to be upfront and very clear, because I seek to reproduce this and let it come again. And that's what I believe that this kind of a be fruitful and multiply concept is about. You want to be able to see this come again. You want to see, because if we are the small gods, you want to see your offsprings come again. That's who we are as men. That's the conqueror in us. We want to see ourselves in this position again. That's why I don't understand, sweethearting, how you could have a child and don't see the child or have the child hiding. This don't even make no sense.
But Howard, all you're simply doing today is putting out on your resume that if you do not run in this by-election, that's Grandmama.
You mean Howard Grant? If Howard Grant don't run?
Hold on, let me finish now. I let you finish. No, let me finish now.
Go ahead. I'm not going to fight you.
You trying to tell me in 2026, if you run, we ain't got to worry about you, no sweetheart, and no misappropriation of our tax money.
Listen to me. I'm not a perfect man. I can be very clear with you.
No. Answer the question, man. We on public radio now. See, I like what you said. I love your wife. I love your children. But I'm saying to you once again, we have to confess our sins today.
Okay, let's do this.
That we know politicians and preachers.
Let's do this.
And teachers and everyone else in this country like to sweetheart.
No, let's do this. Let's do this. And I don't understand how pastors could do this.
So when he asked about the man having a wife, I just don't understand what that had to do with the man running in West Bahama and Bimini in terms of job function and job capability. That's what I'm saying.
I accept that, but I can say this to you. I often have this conversation with my wife. It is not her responsibility. She can never stop a man, or a woman can never stop a man from pursuing his desires.
Thank you very much.
She can't.
Thank you very much.
You don't have the wherewithal. You're not omnipresent.
And you definitely can't stop no woman.
You
can't stop no woman.
So let's be very clear about this.
Okay.
You have to lean on your faith and believe God through faith that this man or this significant other will remain committed not to you, but to their faith. Because that had to be supreme.
You read the Bible?
All the time.
You
They
ever
have
have with
to-
a believing wife and an unbelieving husband?
Yes, that she have to pray for.
You got some good women in this country, and
Yeah,
the
but you have to
husband
pray for
ain't
your-
worth 2 cents.
You have to keep
But you
praying.
got some men I know who are so pious and holy, but the wife, oh, Jesus help us. This country got some issues, you know.
No, this is life, sir. This ain't just
So
our country.
what that got to do with the man running in politics? That's what I'm saying. We know this.
Yeah, but you can't fight people for their conditioning.
Homeboy, when we meet you on the street,
You and I
what
are
the woman say
literally
to you?
sitting here on the radio dissecting this. We're using biblical principle. We're using personal experience. We're
Howard.
having all these clear
Howard.
understandings. And people don't do that. The only thing that they can see is the politics before them.
People, before you call in the show today to Howard can tell you what the numbers are. I, today, Garth Maynard Roosevelt, today on Farrington Road, saw Mr. Howard Grant go to a food store to get us little coffee treats. And a man, he ain't nothing in himself, say, Howard, don't you dare
He
touch that door. Now, if the
Don't touch that
man, who's
MF
real
door.
man, I don't know play man. If a man can say to Howard, who ain't in politics yet, don't touch that door. Imagine when you're in politics, what the woman them
Sir,
gonna
you're
do.
doing too much. You know
Come
what?
on, man, talk to me.
You're really not helping
Listen,
me.
the woman you couldn't get before, when you get into politics,
Sir,
you will get them now.
You're really not helping me today. I just want to let you know this. This is not helping me.
The
very
only
well.
good thing with you is use a wide body fella and you can't hide. That's the
Listen,
only good
listen,
news.
let's just be very
That's
clear.
the only good news.
This is not
That's
helping
the
my
only
argument.
good news.
This is not helping my argument if I have a desire to run in 2026. I just want to be very clear with that, okay? You're not helping me. And ladies and gentlemen, please help me dig myself out of this hole. 323-623-2, 325-4316, 325-4259, anywhere from the family violence, 242-300, 5720, or hit me up 422-4796. Garth, you ain't helping me today, okay? You're supposed to be here with me.
Listen to me. I ain't
You're
got no
supposed to be here
job.
for
I don't
me
have no
and
job.
with me.
I is a hustler. And every time the girls them see you look like you got a little gray hair, don't pull out your little couple of dollars in your pocket. Hey, sweetie. Hey, baby. Hey, handsome. You can't give me on $20, eh? That's when you're like me. When you're an MP, oh, and don't be the PM. That's a different caliber.
You are wilding out today.
Okay.
There are
So
decent men out
marriage
there
ain't
who
got
don't do
nothing
that.
to do with this. We got fellas who's pastors who ain't got no wife, you know. You understand what I'm trying to say?
I know.
Okay then. So let's not bring this holy matrimony into the conversation of good governance. I think we need to get beyond that as a people. Leave that alone because y'all got sissy them all over Parliament doing what they want to do. And even if they got a wife or a husband,
allegedly,
okay,
praise
a lot
God.
of sissy in the House of Parliament. Yeah, I like that.
You are wild. Let me take the
Guess
telephone
what?
call.
If you don't do it here, you just do it abroad.
Let me take the telephone call. Call on the line with this live. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, Howard.
How you
Good
doing?
afternoon, guys.
How you doing?
I'm just curious. So we should consider morality when we trying to elect someone to parliament.
I think we should.
It sounds like you're God is saying that we should.
I'm not saying not to be
when we draw
moral.
the line, if that's the case.
What I'm saying is let's be honest about the conversation that even though we require it, it is not practiced.
That's not the point, though. Should we even look at someone's morality when we considering them?
How can you? God himself is the only one who can tell you what your moral is. I used to like...
You can't tell if someone's lying or not, but you can only go by their word. And their
I
action.
can only go by your resume. That's why the Bible is so important because the Bible is written. It's
So by
not.
your
It's
logic,
not.
no one
It's
should be
not
in
said.
Parliament.
No. I never said that because there are honest people there. I just can't tell you who.
But you just convicted the whole parliament.
That's
by
what I'm
saying,
trying to tell you. You put everybody in one bucket.
Man, I'm simply saying to you again, leave them people personal situation. Unless they are
that's
a
what I said to
pedophile, unless they're a pedophile, unless they are a molester, unless they are a rapist. Yeah, I
but this is only coming from a convicted standpoint.
I don't want to take it from that level. I'm simply saying to you, the man is not married. So
Here's
what
where
does
I'm
that
at.
have to do with his politics?
Here's where I'm at. If we have to look at something because the standards are so low now. for the bomb in the parliament right now. So you have to bring the standard up. Maybe that's why we have so much nonsense in parliament because we decide to lower the bar and allow anyone to show up.
But that's a good point. I appreciate your telephone call, my brother. Thank you so very kindly for that.
You said the bar is
That's-
low.
That's a very good point. The bar has continued to be lowered after 1977. Every single election
This
dispensation.
is the lowest the bar has ever been, yes.
Of course, because we're in 2023. Every election dispensation, the bar has been lowered. In the Free National Movement in 1992, between 1992 and 1997, the bar was high. I often talk to you about this. I often talk to you about, as a young man looking in from the family of islands, at the caliber and the articulation and the posture, and not even understanding the last names of the men that Ingram identified to be able to associate for the Free National Movement, and those men that came to the forefront, that was impressive to me. It was extremely impressive to me, right? And especially when you accompany that with their resumes and whatnot, the morality was never a question. The morality, whether or not they was keeping sweetheart, whether or not they were, LGBTQ or, on one side or the other, flip-flopping, right? That was never a question. The question was, are these men smart? They're articulate, they're poised, and I could trust them because they've been identified by a man that I trust in leadership, who was Hubert Ingram. You understand?
I'm listening.
And as time progressed, when we saw 2002 come in, I saw some caliber of this in the PLP. There were some men, but there's always been this sort of a dark cloud that followed the PLP, that this party is a party of corruption. And I think that actually perpetuated after 1987 election. After 1987, when they indicated that the Free National Movement was supposed to win, but the idea was that this election was stolen. You know the story. Let's just be very clear about this. So after 1987, that story of a corrupt PLP sought to stick. The PLP didn't do enough to kind of expunge that. They didn't do enough to take that off their record. So this cloud continues to follow them. 2002, the cloud followed them. And while we saw a great deal of great men show up in 2002, I still was a little iffy about it. And then when they started to govern, I realized what yes men were. In 2007, yes men popped up in the Free National Movement under the guise of Ingramites, but they were truly yes men. And in 2012, yes men was extremely pronounced in the body politics far and wide. So I'm only saying that to you, that morality there has to be some level, something that we can look at to differentiate whether or not these men have the character and the wherewithal to be able to stand in the Honorable House of Assembly to represent a body of people. Because you could fool us with whether or not you're smart now, but you can't fool us on your morality. And your morality may actually depict what your soul is saying. And if we could look at your morality now, maybe we shouldn't bother with you.
I have personal moral issues with some people in Parliament, me personally, but they're there. And some of them have done much good for
because
this
the
country.
parties do everything they can possibly do to divert your eyes, to avert your eyes, to be able to cause you to detour from looking at the morale of it. Right now, this gentleman called us and asked us about whether or not there was, because the same could be said from the F&M standpoint. I'm just going to be very clear with you.
This is the point
I
I'm
know
making to you.
Bishop Ricardo Grant. I know this man. Y'all don't understand how deep this is.
That's family.
I know this man. This is my family. I tell you, I was in this man church. I traveled with him. I help him everything I could do. I know this man.
You know him more than Kingsley Smith.
I know this man. And I know that he's been married more than once as a bishop.
Okay.
So I'm simply saying to you, if you're going to do it on one end, you can do it on the other spectrum also. If you're going to take it from a foundational biblical standpoint. But the truth of the matter is that are we looking for good governance? Are we looking for a good, good leadership?
That's
Are we
all I'm
looking
saying.
for this kind of an application to move the community and the constituency forward? Can we not kind of decipher whether or not their plans are good enough and whether or not their position is good enough to take the constituency forward? Or are we only going to be able to stuck in these
That's all I'm saying, Howard. That's all I've been trying to say.
That's a question that I have.
They had the story in the Bible where the gentleman in the middle was hanging on the cross, and he had two thieves, one on the left and one on the right. It's still a thief. Whether one got to heaven or not, they still thieves. So when we look at whether they married or not, look in both parties, you still got two thieves right there.
Wow.
Choose your thief. That's all I'm saying.
My God, you're doing a lot. Let me take this telephone call. Caller on the line with us live. Go ahead. Go ahead, caller. Caller, go ahead.
Hello.
Hey, turn your radio down.
All right, it's only down now because it take a little delay before I come in. Yeah, man. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Scholar.
Yeah, God, how you doing? I see you called me the other day.
Yes, sir.
God, I agree with you 100%, man. But throw morale out the window. From the day those politicians them changed the Boogery Act, from the minute they
you are wilding
in their bedroom and two women have sex in their bedroom, throw morale out the window.
Scholar.
Who talk with no morale, man? And with who married? Married? The chairman and the minister in that party?
Sir, you know I gotta cut you. I gotta be as decent as possible. I don't get in people business this heavy. I don't get in people business this heavy.
And I agree with you in that, and I appreciate the call from Scholar Roll, right? Listen what I'm saying to you again. Most Bahamians understand what he's saying, though. No, we can't say it on the air, but I understand that. We got to police the microphone. I agree. But once again, most Bahamians who are involved in politics and where he lives, the same call, I know him, where he lives, if he tells you the story of his member of parliament and the things they got saying on the street, you say, well, by God, how we get there? And when you see them get on the microphone, you want to thank the good Lord for being here, and you the great people of this great constituency. I know God got us on this one. But there ain't no God in these people. No God at all. I'm asking you. So to be of this form of godliness in politics, you got to take that out. Because most of these men, the things they do.
Then who will we be? Who will we be?
Let me ask you another question then.
No, but who will we be?
During the lockdown. Remember the lockdown, the COVID-19 lockdown thing?
I don't think I can forget it.
Okay, good.
Okay, go ahead.
I can ask you one question.
Okay.
Were the MPs able to move around? Hello. Wasn't there a story about an MP? Wasn't there a story about an MP on the beach with somebody? Out east?
Let me take a
No, I ain't calling no name. I just asking you.
323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4316,
Young people say you think this is a game.
242-300-5720, 422-4796. You are wilding out today. Telephone caller on the line. Go ahead. Go ahead, caller on the line.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Guys, give me a call. Let me see if I can read a couple of these texts. Here we go. Say, good day, Howard. Your guest today is hilarious. In one mouth, he says that the Jungle News should never change, as if today we are still using newspaper and real sponge. We have adapted many of the carnival aspects, but to him, the name is so outrageous. However, though he says don't change nothing about Junkanoo and the Bahamian culture, he's upset when Bahamians say that they won't change their parties. When it comes to PLP or FNM, he doesn't mind changing, or I guess it's called being sophisticated. PLP all the way. That's what the people say, right? So it says, good day, Howard and guest. The Bahamas has been willing to exit the real matters of being Bahamian. We want to be like the metropolitan nations. Oh, I'm sorry. No, the metropolitan. I'm sorry. Nations, and lose the Bahamian identity. We're the real Bahamian, organic Bahamians to the future, to the economic growth and development of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, right? That's the text that's coming through. Let me see if I can read this. It says, in the social context of biblical times, Bathsheba could not say no. As for sweethearts, no one beats the Chinese and the Asians with that. There's a text that's coming through.
Thank God you will make it to China, eh?
You need to stop
Hallelujah.
it. Sir.
Just sit on the plane, Howard.
You're not helping me today.
Just sit on the plane.
Sir,
we love
you're not an ally today.
We love
okay?
your wife. We love your wife.
This is extremely contentious.
You got your grouper? You got your grouper, though.
You are wild.
You got your grouper.
You don't want me to have no more grouper, obviously.
You wouldn't get it now.
You don't want me to eat no more.
You never made it.
What you want me to do is starve. You don't want my wife to cook for me no more.
No, I want your wife to be a campaign manager.
All I tell my wife again, to China to be decent. You gonna let, because I know Round Day can come.
I didn't send that text.
Listen to me.
I didn't send that text.
I
did not send that text.
Come.
Listen, you've been to Cuba to school and you ain't touching none and come home for your Bahamian thing. So don't tell me, but
Excuse
no
me,
China.
Sir.
You've been to Cuba.
Did I tell you that?
Yes, you went to school in Cuba.
I was in school in Cuba.
Okay, and if you were able to hold strong in Cuba, come on now. Someone talk to me.
What time is it? Can I take a commercial break?
No, man.
Oh,
Keep it rolling.
Let me take this telephone call. Call on the line with us live. Go ahead.
Hey, good afternoon, gentlemen.
Hey, how you doing, my brother?
I am so proud of you that you were able to hold
That's my
so
friend.
strong in Cuba.
Praise God.
Hallelujah, my friend, Mr. Thompson. What's happening?
Hello.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
go ahead.
Yeah. This thing about morality in Parliament. But first, I want to make a point. When you're listening to Guardian Radio over the internet, and 2 or 3 people speak at the same time, you know we have transistors inside these components that get you on the air. And when you saturate the MOSFET gate, there is a blank that happens, and you don't hear anything for such a period of time because 2 people are talking at the same time, and you are saturating the input.
Also, it blanks out.
So it blanks out.
Okay.
That's why all I heard was homosexual in Parliament.
Oh, Jesus.
So, and I'm wondering if that's a good thing or bad thing. That's why I want to find out from the person who said that it is okay to have homosexuals in Parliament.
Well, based upon what God say, morality should be out the window.
Listen.
But God, that's what you say.
Yeah, but listen. There are nations that have homosexuals who are in government.
We're not talking about external
and perform
nations.
well, and perform well.
Don't skirt around like a politician. The question.
No, I'm
hit
telling
it
you,
straight ahead or straight on.
I honestly.
In the Bahamas, that's how you start this paragraph.
Okay, I'll follow the teacher.
In the Bahamas.
In the Bahamas.
Go ahead.
Garth Maynard Roseborough.
You see that?
Has no.
That's an ellipsis. Dot. There's too much dots, sir.
No. See what happens is this.
You see that? You can't even stay steadfast to what you say. So you believe that there should be morality.
No, but I do not feel that homosexuality affects the politics of the Bahamas other than when it comes to...
So you do feel that it affects...
Children and education,
You can't have it in a conjunction and say...
No. I'm just saying. That's their preference. But that has nothing to do with me. Except when you touch the educational system and the children, those who can't defend themselves.
But Garth, let's be very clear. Every time we speak about the LGBTQ plus community in our country, there's always this idea of an agenda, of a wagon that's bigger than a country, of a wagon that's attached to these acronyms, that's bigger than our country, that is connected both locally, regionally, and internationally to an objective of ensuring that there is significant infiltration.
Mm-hmm. And population control, etc.
Okay.
Got you.
So we know that, okay? So you cannot say, in good conscience, with this information accessible to you, that there is no problem. Because if there is infiltration beyond the fact that, okay, this is a preference, I like this. If there is a significant commitment to this organization, then there could possibly be the introduction of an agenda also within the body politics in your country.
I understand where you're going, and even though I will confess my sins on the radio, I'm anti-LGBTQ plus whatever they are. I am. But guess what I've learned to do? I've learned to accept them for the talents that they have in that. I love Elton John. The boy just got good music. And then because what his name, Dwight Howard, is now coming out. Are you going to stop watching? Are you going to stop watching NBA?
Out.
I mean, come on. I'm just simply saying.
I cannot believe this.
I want to appreciate the art, and when people learn that politics is an art, it's not just something casual as we in the Bahamas
You're going
perform.
from sports to art now.
But it is an art. It is an art, and the average Bahamian has not understood the art of politics, and that is where we are. We need the Eddie Meneses of art in the Bahamas and the Harry Rolls and the Jamal Rolls, the celebrity artists and others to teach us what art really is so that we can put that into our politics and create a beautiful picture of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Now, we can have some people...
Yeah, but when Amos Roll was creating this art, there's socially indifference locally. This art was only recognized internationally that gave Amos that kind of position that he has. And that's the exact same thing with politics.
And you're right.
In politics, you may be creating a specific type of art, but it may not necessarily be the caliber. It may not necessarily be the taste and flavor of what exists locally. We have to amalgamate ourselves to that, or come to an understanding that this is art only after it's been experienced externally. And you know when that happens? Only after you're dead. It don't happen when you're living. It's happened after you're dead. They said, boy, you know that fella had a good idea.
Yeah.
When he died.
Yeah.
Oh, that fella, he was good. When he's dead.
He's brilliant.
And so I'm saying that to say to you, you have to follow the line of the tradition and the culture that exists in the space that you live in and get involved and incrementally change that if you seek to change it. But you can't just say overtly that I won't come in here and wrap yourself in a particular flag or an agenda and walk into the House of Assembly and expect everything to be okay. You are going to get ridiculed, sir. You're going to get ridiculed. And that is why the allegations and speculations and possibilities that there may be individuals in the LGBTQ, but never one of them would ever step up and be able to confess that. Not one of them. Not one of them. Not in this culture.
You think that they ain't coming?
Not in this country.
You think that they ain't coming?
No, they coming.
No, those coming out.
No,
you think that they ain't coming soon?
They're coming, but they ain't coming out.
But you got some, anyway.
They may be coming, or they may be in politics, but they're not coming out the closet. They're staying right there, and let's stay right there also. Take this quick commercial break, ladies and gentlemen, and be right back after this.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation.
Let me ask you a few questions. What's your name?
Pam.
Favorite food?
Steak.
Beer or wine?
Wine.
Is your money safe?
It's under my bed, so I guess so.
Are you serious?
Yeah, why?
Unless your money is in a bank or credit union that's a member of the Deposit Insurance Corporation, there's no guarantee it's safe.
Yeah, but what if something happens to the bank?
Your Bahamian dollar deposits are insured up to $50,000, so you'd still be ahead. Plus, your mattress might catch fire. Then what?
Man, those banks and credit unions are looking good right about now.
Visit the DIC's website at www.dic.bs. Protection for your money guaranteed with DIC.
At Ron's Electric Motors, they repair and rewind all major brands of electric motors, including water pumps, generators and the generator's back end, welding machines, electric lifts, air compressors, battery chargers, and more. They're equipped to handle up to 850 kilowatts and rewind up to 450 horsepower motors. They're conveniently located on the corner of Wolf and Clarence Roads and are open weekdays 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturdays till noon. They offer 24 hours emergency assistance. You can reach them at 242-356-0249.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation. The foundation. Foundation. The foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, 96.9 FM radio. This conversation has taken a beeline for me because I did not know that we were going to discuss morality in politics today. I feel like morality is a significant issue. And I feel like for me, for Howard Grant, I might as well say to you, I pursue an alignment daily. I pursue an alignment that ascends my position. As a man, it's easy for me to be able to dive into carnality. As a man, it's easy for me to be able to step outside of the lines of commitment and faith and just be able to pursue carnal pleasure in one way or another. You understand? It's easy. But there has to be some conviction and some pushback to be able to keep you in line with something greater. I believe that morality is extremely important, especially when the retention of our culture is at hand. And if our culture has found its base and its meaning in faith, in religion, who am I to kind of destroy that with my error? Who am I? I don't understand. I don't think I should. I don't think I should. I agree with the notion and the sentiment that there are persons who live an alternative lifestyle in the body politics in this country. I do agree with that. I agree with that. I believe that a great deal of them have significantly contributed to forward movement for the country. I do. But if they have not made a pronouncement, and though there's social speculation, is that they also know that they can tamper their legacy, their position, and their family's name if they were to come out to the forefront to talk about these things, because the society has not accepted this just yet, wholeheartedly. The society hasn't accepted this wholeheartedly. And so to do that, let's say hypothetically you are a butler.
Big name in the Bahamas.
Big name. Politically, big name.
Big name in every which way.
There is an expectation for you to be able to move along the lines. See, who you love is your business. But when you have a name that you had your forefathers before you dig out and carve out this name and find the diamonds in this name and polish it over the years and strategically placed it at the forefront of Bahamian social and political society to see that your family name shimmers, and you come there with this overwhelming desire to be able to go contrary to that, you can tarnish everything that your forefathers had built. So you keep your mouth and save your political life, and also save the position of what your family's been fighting for over the years. That don't change from who you love. That's your business. That's why people shouldn't get their business in politics. If you were Turnquest, the exact same thing. You don't just destroy that name for you. You destroy it for your family and for those coming after you. Because now that tarnish, this is what I said to my mother. I said, Mommy, if you do anything in politics, or you don't act in these particular ways. I tell you, me and my mother used to row. I love my mother, but I'm opinionated. And I said, Mommy, this name don't belong to you. I said this to her. She's a Grant. I said, Mommy, this name don't belong to you. You ain't working. You ain't doing this for you. This name don't belong to you. This don't belong to everyone else coming behind you. Every one of us. And you don't have the space to do as you please or as you wish with this last name.
That's because you come from a traditional family. Let me say something to you, Mr. Howard Grant, that you may not be aware of. There's a whole lot of people in this country who never had a mommy and daddy staying in the same house.
Yeah, but that ain't got nothing to do with nothing.
No, I can tell you what
Sparky talk about 19 families. When he called you, he talked about 19 families.
Can I get there, please? Can I get?
And if you want to be the 20th family, you better have certain alignment.
Could I put my GPS in motion?
Go ahead, I ain't gonna fight you.
When I was growing up, you know what I used to see a lot of? Pictures. You know what the pictures showed me? People getting married. You know what I want to now know? Someone could call in and tell me this. How many people these days really getting married? Is marriage a big deal anymore? Is the whole sanctity and the holiness of marriage still important anymore? Do you know what I have come to hear about this marriage thing? That when you get married, half of your stuff may end up with your wife, eh? Because you may not only be married a year or two, but she come in for half or more. I just being decent. What I'm hearing in marriage is there's something called marital rape that they're talking about in the Bahamas. So a lot of young men, they're a little scared of that now, because once you could deal with your deal on a daily basis and walk away, you ain't gonna never have that problem. That's another problem you can have. There seems to be this enemy of the institution of marriage in this country. When we look at pastors who are married and still fooling around with the little girls in the church, we hear these stories. Marriage is not popular anymore. Marriage is also very expensive. Takes a whole lot of responsibility. And when you look at this generation that is now coming out of these high schools, they ain't got no real job.
Wedding's expensive.
You have extended families now where you have a 2-bedroom apartment and you got 10 and 15 people living in one house. Ain't nobody getting married no more.
Wedding's expensive. Marriage isn't expensive.
Marriage ain't expensive?
No, man. I've been married for 20 years.
How will you see how...
The wedding was expensive.
You see how well fed you look?
Yeah.
You could go to Hong Kong and come back and eat grouper.
Yeah, but
you have Sparky say he can't even get corned beef right now.
And I would say...
Now, when you get a wife, imagine the stress of having to find something. And guess what? Women don't eat no corned beef and rice every day. Now, me and you being single, we could do that.
But that's what Minna's favorite meal was. Minna's is a millionaire. Minna say his favorite meal...
Minna's got Auckland's family, man.
He said his favorite meal is fire engine. So you think his wife
was eating that? You only said that because he's there for
You think his wife was eating that?
You only said it because he's there for that. That man eating T-bone steak, man. Don't let that man lie to you.
Let me take a telephone call. Guys, the lines are wide open if you want to be a part of the conversation right there. Give me a call, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, anywhere from the family of islands, 242-300-5720. Let me see if I can take a telephone call. Caller on the line. Go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. Grant.
Yes, sir.
And to your partner there next to you, oh Lord, I can't remember.
He was my partner, but today he tried to kill me.
Yeah, I like him, though. I like him. I like you too, Howard. But listen, Howard.
Go ahead.
You say we need more morality, eh?
I feel so.
You're talking about how different people might get catch up in different things.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, man, they had a report out a couple of months ago, and it's a brand new one come out again. Just what did it say? October 27th. Listen to this. Over 200,000 minors in Spain have been victims of church sex abuse since 1940. What do you think about that?
Only 200?
Come again?
200,000.
You say how much?
200,000.
Oh, 200,000.
Since 1940 in the latest report.
Mm-hmm. I believe that.
These are the people we're supposed to entrust our children to, you know.
I know.
What's going on there? And you and they're talking about the LGBTQ this and the LGBTQ plus that.
Yeah.
And how they should live their life and what you don't agree with and this. Well, what about this?
No. I don't say how they should agree their life. How they should live their life. Huh? I said, based upon our culture, and if only the perception that exists in our culture, there exist many of them throughout the body and politics, but they will not pronounce their position and say, this is who I am, for fear of losing their position based upon the social perception. That's it. That's all I'm saying.
Nothing wrong with our culture then.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah, but listen,
we would be content to know who you is.
Some people do make it known who they are.
Money could change that. Money could change that.
Money cannot change that.
Some people do make it known who they are. You know that.
No, I don't know that. There has not been one politician that came out.
Well, you calling politicians? I thought you just meant.
No. I say the body politics. I'm not talking about none. I'm talking about the body politics.
Anyhow, you still don't address the topic, the question. What I posed to you.
What's the question?
Beginning. You're trying to now bring it back to something else.
No. Tell me what the question is about the 200,000.
This thing about 200,000 minors in Spain have been victims of church sex abuse. Latest report from 1940.
Church sex abuse. Church.
What is going on?
The Catholic Church continues to grapple.
All church come from the Catholic Church. The church is the church. And it happens in all churches.
They continue.
Don't try to separate nothing else.
No, they continue to grapple with whether or not.
Don't say they. Say we as a body of the church.
No, I can't say that.
All right? Why you want to disassociate yourself from the Catholics? And we all worshiping one God?
Yeah, but I can't say that. No.
Why are you separating?
No.
This is why I always say religion causes division.
Well, this religion exists.
No one could agree on anything.
No. Religion exists. Division exists. Separate mindset exists. Your conviction and mind exist. And the only responsibility that we have in civility is to be able to come to one very clear understanding of compromise. That's all. All we do is being able to compromise our position. That is why there exists division. You have your position, I have my position. My wife have a different mindset than me. Who's one, you know. But we have to come to a consensus in the home that this is what we can do. That's compromise. I give a little, she gives a little, we get to the objective to move forward. That's no different than the body politics. That's no different than our society. And so when I say the Catholic Church has been grappling with whether or not they should even identify homosexual pastors, I'm sure that this will matriculate through the body of Christ.
In every denomination.
I'm sure it will matriculate after there has been a precedent set. Okay. I'm sure it will happen. You understand? Mm-hmm. They continue to be able to grapple with these particular things.
See, this is why I'm saying to you again, we have to define what good governance is in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Good governance doesn't have anything to do with your marital status. Good governance for me is a position, an executive position, wherein you sit as CEO, CFO, COO, you participate on a national board to perform the responsibilities that effectively and sufficiently run this nation. This nation should be ran as a business We got plenty single Chinese, single Filipino, single Haitian, single Jamaican people who are in this country who run a business and do extremely well. For some odd reason, you all keep on grappling, since you want to use this word grappling, with the idea of running this country like a doggone church. And that's why you're picking up all these taxes, man.
But whose fault is that? The F&M over the last two administrations had gone in the church.
But I'm saying to you,
their candidate in West Grand Bahama right now is an entire bishop.
We have a generation right now, Howard.
So who would me and you? We don't get to make these decisions, not on the radio. But the entire council came to a conclusion that the prefix to the man name in Mr. is bishop. And they gave him an opportunity to sit in a position of power, to potentially sit in a position of power.
If the man won't be a bishop, he won't be a pope, he won't be an apostle.
But I'm saying to you,
it don't matter to me
that politics has not divided, not separated themselves from preaching.
And that's an error.
From religion.
And that's what I'm saying to you.
But me and you came to that conclusion. I believe it's an error.
So we got to start running this thing like a business. When you start talking about I want my natural resources. What does church got to do with your natural resources, man? We're talking about profit, and we're talking about loss. We're talking about assets, and we're talking about liabilities. We're talking about international finance and business. This is the type of corporate understandings that we should be coming to, and you cannot understand it, Mr. Howard Grant, if you do not have a proper education. So when we look at the educational level in this country that has been falling and failing, no wonder why the next generation cannot understand how to run this country. It cannot be a simple, that's red, that's yellow, that's green. As long as we're there, we're not going anywhere.
Wow. Let's read a couple of these texts before we go. This says, good day all. The previous caller asked about Kingsley Smith marital status. That question should have been followed up by a position on gay marriages, gay rights, capital punishment, corporal punishment, marital rape. These are some of the issues that most Bahamians strongly opposed. I believe that questions like these should be addressed before elected. So when we send you to the UN,
United Nations,
UN, we also know that you won't sign us onto these garbage agreements applies to both candidates. This is text is coming through. It says, Howard, please stop it. You as a man, I as a man. You ain't never gonna tell us everything. LOL. You see this can that you open? You see this can of indecency?
Sausage and grits.
You see this can of indecency that you opened today? You need to stop, right? It says, Howard and Garth, great show, but Howard, back in the 70s, you had to be married to run for the House of Assembly. Just thought that you should know that. There was a whole different rules and regulations that existed.
Howard, you and I off the air to that texter and caller. Listen to me, people. There was someone by the name of King Henry VIII. He was the King of England. He was a Catholic. He was married. He was sanctioned, authorized. Guess what happens to King Henry VIII? He has a wife. The wife cannot bear a son. What does he do with her?
Decapitate her.
He chopped her head off. That's a married man. As a matter of fact, I'll make it even more decent for you. King Henry VIII is the founding member, the patriarch, and the pope of all popes, I would say, in the Anglican Church. He founded the Anglican Church, for the most part. The Church of England. King Henry VIII. Church man, top of the church chart.
Okay, so bring that home. What are you saying?
I'm saying, what marriage got to do with this? You got fellas who married, who in charge of the church and can't act right. Who go around chopping off women's head because they can't have a son? That's what marriage is.
You don't think we've come over the years? We haven't.
You don't need to be married to do your doggone job.
Humanized our approach to be able to deal with these things.
We
softened our approach.
Well, soften it some more. Get some Downy. Put in there.
Okay, so we should knowingly allow degenerates to rule over us?
No, we never said that.
This is a text is coming through. So should we knowingly allow degenerates to rule over us?
We're talking about a marital status.
Okay.
Married, single, widowed, divorced. We're talking about a marital status.
This is a text is coming through. It says, Howard, do you still feel that Kingsley Smith can win? I ask because F&Ms are bragging that they have this one in the bag. You say that you are a son of the soil, unlike the other guy who lied that he has roots down there.
Oh, Lord.
What's your current take on who appears to have the edge. I'm listening. This is a text is coming through.
Yeah,
Let's take the other guy says you have roots down there. The whole Juggalo band is a lot, right?
Yes, sir.
Let me take a telephone. Let me take this commercial break and get right back after this.
The foundation. Foundation.
Craving an authentic calzone? Well, make the right choice at Marco's Pizza. Our signature calzones feature our handmade dough, stuffed with toppings, our fresh 3-cheese blend, served with a side of pizza sauce. For a limited time, order 2. That's right, 2 of our 2-topping calzones and 1-liter Coke for only $15. Restrictions apply. Customize your calzones right now at marcospizzabahamas.com. Now closing at 11:30 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays.
We've been with you from the very start, leading the way and providing you with the best in primetime sporting experiences. From one goal to the next, you can count on us for full access to the best sports channels at home or on the go. Make Rev your only choice. Visit rev.bs. Every match, every game, every moment. Rev, your home for sports.
Bishop Henry Fernandez, Shirley Caesar, and Jonathan Nelson for the Becoming My Best Self Conference on November 2nd to the 4th at the Baha Mar Hotel. You do not want to miss these 3 days of anointed music, worship, and the Word. Get your tickets now. For one price, you can worship with Shirley Caesar and Jonathan Nelson and participate in every session for the entire weekend. Register now at henryfernandez.org or purchase your tickets at Suntime Marathon Mall, the Galleria entrance. Contact 242-601-2012 for more info. Seats are limited. It's time to level up at the Becoming Your Best Self Conference. Meet us there.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation.
We got a couple more minutes to get out of here. Let me see if I can read a few more of these texts. This is great show, Howard. Leadership is a matter of trust, and trust is a matter of character and competence. Your guest seems to favor competence without character. This is text coming through, right? Says Howard. So this asks, do you still feel that Kimsey Smith can be able to win? I never said that I think that Kimsey Smith would win. I said to you that I believe that Bishop Ricardo going to take it. Now, since we spoke last, there has been a significant push, a rallying of sorts of all the juggernauts within the PLP on the ground in West Grand Bahama and Bimini, and the full machinery of the PLP is out in big numbers. In West Grand Bahama and Bimini, right? And if it's only perception alone, Kimsey Smith has this thing based upon the perception. If it's only perception alone, the full machinery of the PLP seems to be on the ground in West Grand Bahama and in Bimini. Now, it doesn't take away from what I said, in my view, based upon character, based upon the decisions I believe that the community will makes for who they know and who they would favor. I still believe, that Bishop Ricardo Grant will become victorious. Now, as the days progresses, the margin thinnens. As the days progress and we move closer to November 22nd, I see his victory margin decreasing because I don't see the F&M providing that same fortitude behind him. To say that you having a rally in the alley ain't enough, baby. That ain't enough. To say that you having a rally in the alley and the Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas is on the ground. The Deputy Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas is on the ground. Make it shaking hands, kissing babies, hailing people, revisiting promises, commitments, so forth and so on. It is not enough for you to be able to be victorious on November 22nd. So I believe that Kingsley is getting that second win. But I do believe that based upon the land and the layout, that Ricardo Grant has the upper hand. Now, I'm not going to pull back from the fact that I don't believe that he's going to be victorious in 2026 if he wins.
Well, I listened to your show earlier this week. I listened to the deputy chairman of that party, and good friend of mine. But Mr. Saunders, listen, man. The things that you was spieling on this particular show, that ain't never gonna happen. I mean, it sounds good and everything, but it's not plausible. Mr. Howard Grant, as you close your show, I want to thank you once again for being a guest here. But that caption at the bottom of the Guardian newspaper, Ministers, F&M had 5 MPs and a GG, but did nothing for Grand Bahama. Could you help us with that? When you talk about
Ricardo Grant
and Kingsley Smith.
I can't help you with that.
Does this affect this by-election?
Grand Bahama is inherently free national movement country. That's how they brand themselves. I didn't do that branding.
5 MPs.
That's how they brand themselves,
mm-hmm.
right? And when you find yourself in the position where a community loves you more than you love the community, sometimes you could be able to throw disdain at them and treat them very casual and do less for them, and they still have this relentless commitment for you. That's where free national movement and the community of Grand Bahama finds themselves. That the community has more of a commitment to the FNM than vice versa. The FNM
they're still loyal.
Their loyalty is to a fault.
Why?
Because their identity is wrapped up in the idea that we are FNM country. And we talked about this at the beginning of the show. Their identity is wrapped up in their political organization.
So it's a religion.
It may be religious.
They hate.
But it's not fruitful. There's no fruit that's being yielded.
So does the average Bayman need to see fruit in order to vote? Do they need the
fruit?
You
should be wanting to see fruit.
I keep saying to you again.
You should.
We got to get there.
You should.
We have to get there.
You should. And the PRP has done a great deal. See, Obadiah Wilscombe in his particular capacity has done a great deal in terms of providing a good foundation, a good anchor. But has never gotten us up to the bell cost and put the roof on the building.
That is correct.
He's never gotten us up there. We get foundations all over West Grand Bahama and Bimini that's been built, shovels in the ground, ribbons been cut, land been cleared down, proverbially and physically in West Grand Bahama, and nothing come to fruition.
Well, Howard, I am looking forward to joining you in West Grand Bahama and Bimini to go on the ground. And all that we have said from New Providence and what we're hearing through the telephone. But let me say this to you. When we get on that ground, I'm almost assured that we'll be able to tell the exact truth as to what is happening in West Grand Bahama.
If the PRP keep pushing this thing, Kingsley may be victorious. See, there's...
To be victorious, you can wear a gold shirt?
There is... Some of my shirts are all neutral colored now. All of my shirts. I had one green shirt. I threw that away.
You know, but he was like to wear the shirt of the winner.
I had a red shirt.
You see some people
it was buttoned up.
Red shirt yesterday, today. Oh, yeah, we win.
Listen to me.
We win.
I had one red shirt buttoned right down. The red
win. Oh, we win. We win.
I threw that away. Right.
Opportunities based on who wins.
My point to you is that the PLP machinery is in full effect. But this is only a battle. This is only a battle. The victory is in 2026. And I'm steadfast in my position. I don't care who win this by-election, Kingsley or Ricardo Grant. None of them could take it in 2026. I don't believe any of them could take. You know why? Because your promises are bigger. You're biting off more than you can chew. You cannot say, your organization is not even in government, that you can build this big facility and do it. You only got 2 years, baby. What you talking about?
That's what I thought.
What you doing?
That's why I said it was just
you putting your foot in your mouth.
Yes.
You are, listen to me, you putting a strike against yourself, because now people in West Grand Bahama don't even care about the intangibles no more. They just want to see you put your money where your mouth is, and you ain't got no money. Let's be very clear. That's the first thing you say. Your pocket shallow.
And one of them ain't got no wife.
Sir, let me go. You did a lot today. I just want to let you know that very clearly. You did a lot today. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the show today. I want to thank you so very kindly for kind of tuning in with us and participating, having this good conversation with us. I didn't know we were going to get into morality, but I steadfast in that. I believe that morality should have at least an inkling some sort of something. I mean, we just.
The one who have a wife ain't got no money. The one who ain't got no wife got money. You won't get it yet?
So it take two of them to make one. My God. Let's take it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant and your company, The Foundation. Stay safe for Chicago Line with Z Live. We see you tomorrow on Small Business Thursday right here.